a sacrifice seduced for the altar of your vanity. A jealous, hungry God craving praises of profanity. With bedroom dark and dine, and a deep mouth stained with wine, it drinks its fill. It was your mothers, not your brothers, that agreed to feed you poison. This egregious lack of choice indeed seemed fit to join your voice in, with lies disguised as prizes of reason and wisdom, with briberies of finery to weaken any criticism. Can the fly invade the blossom that devours it? A mouth that lies in wait for a gift of life to shower it.
Well, welcome back. It is session 63. We ended on a cliffhanger last game. Let's see. Sybil was trying to obfuscate away in the middle of some very tense negotiations. The Carthaginians are feeling pretty desperate at the moment, and they are likely to react quite negatively to this. So, due to the power that she used, everybody has to roll Wits plus Courage at difficulty 5, and the ghouls have to roll difficulty 8. So I'll go ahead and make those rolls for you.
It's actual difficulty 9 for the humans.
The ghouls get 8, according to the book.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, nice.
I assume that's Hatshepsut's initiative roll?
Yes.
So run speed is something you can do, but you can take action if you run, right?
We'll get to that in a minute. Let's see.
Right.
Let me
should
go
I
ahead and
roll
make these
initi-
rolls first, and then we'll do initiative.
Okay.
Basically, you'll be able to make it to the windows in this round. The speed calculator on these new sheets is actually pretty handy.
Nice.
Mm.
I believe this is not meters. I don't know how much
let's see.
50 feet is.
So, what I've put in is the room you're in is approximately 26 meters from wall to wall.
Okay, nice.
For us Imperial users, that's 26 feet or 26 yards.
So everyone can go wherever.
If you look at the front page of your character sheet, it'll say speed calculator. Walk, jog, run. On the very bottom right. Now, Labiana and Albina have ghouls here, which are in the upper left-hand corner. So the room has 4 pillars. So the walk speed is 7 yards or meters per round. Jog would be, so there'd be 7 squares. So you can move 7 and still take an action. You can move 14 and not take an action. You can sprint at 26 with appropriate rolls. You will have to make a dexterity plus athletics roll to avoid stumbling over yourself because you are so focused on just running as fast and hard as you can.
Okay.
There will be no multiple actions if you sprint. If you decide you want to jog and take an action, you can do that as multiple actions.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so let me roll their courage plus wits score. So, Tyrannus Pilum. He of the short but very powerful arms gets 7 dice to roll. At diff 8.
I hope he can beat our Bruja, which is
Well,
tiny.
that's his courage roll.
Nice. Okay.
His initiative is 13. Or actually, sorry, I already rolled his initiative, which he rolled a lot better this time, unfortunately for him. Now, Albana's Ghoul Mercurio is also there, maintaining a respectful distance, but close enough to act. He has 9 dice to roll at diff 8 for his power. It looks like he had success, and now he rolled an initiative of 13. All right, so I need an initiative roll for Nicodemus and Sybil.
Nicodemus and Sybil, okay. Man, that roll, you should preserve that success for something more important. Okay. Initiative was wits dexterity.
Well, roll a d10 and add your wits and dexterity score to it. And of course, take off any penalties you might have.
Yes. And we can't boost.
At this very second, you can't, but you can here as soon as it gets to your first turn.
Okay. Let me roll quickly. I believe. I mean, yeah. So that's supposed to be for me. Okay. 1d10 plus 7. I'm not good.
12. All right. So Labiana actually is the top actor because she gets a celerity boost as well.
God, a five person coterie and only one of them has celerity. This is unheard of.
But she is going to hold her action. Now, normally, like I said, I don't play people's PCs. I don't think you can handle this without her. If it comes down to an actual fight. So she's going to hold her action. The Carthaginian Ventru Alyssa the Merchant is going to hold her action. Danel the Priest is going to hold his action. That brings up Uru Milky the Assassin. As you can see, he is essentially on the other side of this little bench. He is going to hop the bench and attempt to tangle up Sybil. So I'm going to make him do a dexterity plus athletics roll, not as an action, just he might, trip and fall on his face as he hops the bench to get to you. Then he's going to do a dexterity plus melee to hold a knife to your throat because he thinks you're trying to get away from him. Because, well, you did use an obfuscate power and he caught you.
Yeah.
I mean, he was trying to get away from him.
Yeah, I was trying to get away from them, not just him, but yeah.
Yep. So, character sheet, combat, dice. Now he spent blood to increase his initiative, and he spent 1 blood for celerity, and he spent blood to boost stats. So we're going to roll his combat dice. Dex plus melee, first Dex plus athletics to hop the bench.
Is this? No, this is not multiple actions, right?
No, this is not this is literally just him chasing you. But like I said, there's a possibility he might trip and fall on his face, which would be, nice to you.
Funny. It will be funny. I think it will be funny for everyone in this room.
He actually has 2 extra dice for that, but that's still good enough. He leaps over the bench. One moment. Theme change.
Dramatic music.
let's hope this actually plays. New music player. All right. So he makes it over. Now he's going to do a dexterity plus melee to. He has the knife in his hand. What he's doing is he's caught up to you and he's reaching around you and he's putting the knife to your neck in a very threatening, obvious manner, putting the tip right up against your throat to basically you try to get away from him and he'll just jam it right up your windpipe.
Okay.
That's the wrong dice to roll. That's what I wanted to roll. Whew, 7 successes. No 10s. Yeah. He does that. So, what you guys have seen is Sybil backs away a little bit during the conversation. Suddenly, the assassin looks up and he goes, "What the hell?" Everybody swivels to look at Sybil and sees that she's kind of ghostly, getting ready to turn. The assassin leaps to the bench, reaches out, snags a handful of Sybil's clothing from just almost nowhere, pulls a knife out, puts it up against Sybil's throat, kind of holding. Now, so he's kind of standing behind Sybil just a little bit. And he's got that knife up, pointing up right up into the shelf of her chin. Sybil, you can feel the cold point of the knife, and it feels like acid. It burns. It's not just pointy and sharp, but it actually like physically burns right at the tippy point of your skin, where he's got it pressed in, putting a little indentation in your skin.
Does it do aggravated damage at this point?
At this point, no, it does not.
It will if he actually cuts you with
If he has to actually use it, it will inflict aggravated damage. All right, so the others held their actions. Hatchetsit, you're up.
Seeing what happens, I noticed that me and Alvin's tokens are placed on a bench. Are we presumed to be like sitting down?
Yes, that's what I would presume. You were kind of sitting.
So, turning around to see that she sort of like is getting up and just unconsciously firing a fist against the bench in just a mixture of shock and anger, and just quite simply exclaims, "Sybil, what the fuck?" Did you need some privacy? Just. And then she breathes in and out a moment, even though she doesn't need to do that, like, biologically, just as a calm. With that, she's gonna pass her turn just in shock.
Mercurio begins drifting a little bit closer, getting ready to jump in if he has to. Of course, he knows who he's protecting first. Sybil.
I will wait, Nicodemus. Then I will act depending on what he does.
Okay. Gisco, the wrestler, does nothing. He is actually going to spend blood. He's blood buffing. which I need my pencil and my card. Alright. Let's see, he's going to be spending 5 blood. 3 for dex and 2 for strength. Alright. Hyaton is spending 5 blood for dex. So let's see, I need to adjust Gizco's initiative to
You might want to change the server.
15. Servers, is it getting that bad already?
Not that bad, but it is like having some jumps.
Well, let's try Sydney. How's that, guys? Okay? You good?
Yep.
Mm.
Alright.
Seems so far. You
Albina
didn't change
Palace.
the.
Albina is going to take a step up from the bench. She's going to look angrily at both Sibyl and Urunki and say, "There is going to be no kidding in here. And Sibyl, you are not going to leave before we had an agreement." She's going to hold her turn.
Okay. Nicodemus. Nicodemus, you good? Yep.
Purple?
Sorry about that.
Two.
Nicodemus is going to boost his dexterity by 1 and stamina by 3. And as Rumilky somersaults over the bench in this dazzling display of dexterity, his attention travels across between the assassin and Sybil, and as it does, a scowl and an expression of contempt forms on his face. It's directed to Sybil, but it's very difficult to tell whether it's her or Urmilky himself. After the knife contacts, he spins about, looks at the other members of the coterie, and he adopts this posture of calm, even though the skull and the contempt is still in his face, and he says, "Let's be calm. We have not come here to fight. We're still discussing. You want this. We want it."
Alright. Tyrannus is going to drift a little bit over this way. Working on clearing up his shot, because he readies very casually readies a pilum in his hand.
What's that?
It's essentially a very short throwing spear. It's
Javelin,
similar
basically.
to a javelin. Alright. So we're back to the top. So everyone's kind of in a standoff. I'm going to pause combat rounds because Nobody really wants to fight at the second. It's going to come down to what Sybil does. So again, Urumilky jabs just a little bit. And Alyssa, the Ventru, steps up and she says, "So, we treated you like brothers and sisters in our own home. We come to you with an offer and you repay us by trying to sneak away? Sybil? Answer for your actions, Sybil."
There's a dagger on my throat, right?
Yeah, but you can talk.
Okay. I just wanted to test if you were ready to kill us.
No, Sybil, don't be like that. There
Look,
was
the
some
situation. Sorry, go ahead.
there were some incidents recently. It put Sybil rather on edge. I will apologize on her behalf. She's not perhaps fully in control of her wits currently, but
You all claim that you treated us like brothers, and yet you lied to us. Had you not been honest to all your intentions, with fuck, I forgot the name of the senator, Cato.
Yeah.
Yes, had been honest with your intentions with Cato, we could have assisted you, and none of us would be in this mess.
As we explained before, it was never our intention to harm him. However, your delay in assuring our prompt access allowed him to rile up the Senate such that we had no other choice but to attempt to frame our enemies for his death. Speaking of,
And we
I very much wonder who it was that pulled the spear from his body that would have squarely placed the blame on our enemies outside of Carthage, and instead allowed the blame to fall upon us.
we originally took it to try and figure out what precisely you were planning, and for whatever it might be worth, we did try to place it back, but well, let's just say we were interrupted in that.
For what it might be worth, you spied on us. There is no other answer. However, we still fulfilled our portion of the bargain. We welcomed you to Carthage. We assured your safety. We fulfilled our halves of the bargain, giving you knowledge, power. We refrained from harming you or allowing you to come to harm. Except as perhaps the price of your own knowledge would inflict it upon you, but that's not our problem. That's not our fault. So, we could sit here and argue all night about betrayals and splitting hairs about who perhaps broke what bargain. Or you can give us an answer. Will you help us?
We need a collateral, something that can assure us
Wait,
about
well,
what.
just to be clear, your purpose, I will be blunt, even without Kybeel's interference, it is likely that a war is coming. But from what I'm guessing, she would make things much, much worse. Am I correct in that much?
If Kybiel is allowed to speak, she and her friends that have come with her will spread lies, which will be believed. They will provide manufactured evidence, which is not true. And it will be the last speech given about Carthage before Rome musters all her resources, all her friends, to assure our destruction.
You say that she brought friends along with her. We did not have the pleasure of meeting them.
But most of them you have. Helena of Troy, the Shunamesh, a traitor named Gael Leonis, which you may or may not have met.
Helena is involved in this. She's working with Sibyl.
Indeed, she is. She's deeply involved.
That's a surprise. Last I heard, she seemed to be fond of Carthage.
Not to get too deeply into her business, but she's doing this to punish Menelaus. She's not doing this for any other reason.
If I may put forward an idea, out of character, like how long is it that we've got to talk before, people need to leave and stuff?
Sunrise in about 30 minutes.
We may be able to
starting to feel the pull.
Yeah. We don't have much time to discuss. Yeah. We don't have much time to fully discuss it now, but there may be options other than simply murdering her, than simply killing Kybiel. At least physically killing her. What Artemis is doing is very dangerous, quite frankly, for herself as well as the city. You might be able to take advantage of that, but perhaps that would require time we do not have.
I assure you, if she is allowed to speak, she can be most convincing. Allowing her the opportunity to address the elders of this city will be a death blow for Carthage.
So make it that no one wants her to speak.
If Artemis is willing to step up and be her an assurance, how can you make it so no one wants to hear her speak?
Rome is no friend to the ally.
And if worse comes to worse, we can always hinder the reputation of Artemis.
Rome may be no friend to the Baali, but neither is it friend to Carthage. Carthage made her mistakes 40 years ago. The memory of the Cainites is significantly longer than 40 years. There are many who hold today's people responsible for the mistakes of Hannibal Barca. Do you think that those who lost their homes, perhaps their children, maybe their sires, you think they'll forgive Carthage so easily? Or perhaps they'll look to kill two birds with one stone.
Uh, I think convincing forgiveness of Carthage is going to be unlikely. But, well, as I said before, targeting Artemis's reputation might have the potential to bear fruit.
And how long do you think it will take to do that? More than 2 days?
Hence why I said it might take time that we don't have. If we
I
could
presume
tell
it's
the
going to
right
take more than 2 nights to attack her reputation.
probably. Nicodemus, how? Oh, what was that? Nicodemus, how do you think your Abinadab would react if he heard of what Artemis was doing right now?
I think you've learned of him enough to wager, I guess.
Well, I can tell it would be negative, but would it be enough to convince him to withdraw support?
I'm not certain if it would serve the purpose. We would need to assault the political influence, and my kin, we remain withdraw. Ultimately, it may bring some merit to the truthfulness of the accusations we might wish to spin, but I'm not certain if it would permit the edge we seek within such fortnight. It cannot be the only trump card we have.
And it won't be. It's just one fort. Out of character, do we know how many clients Artemis has?
Mostly, yeah. She has a Cappadocian, a Malkavian, a couple of randoms. She has pretty good relations with the Nosferatu, plus her Ventru and Malkavian friends.
Oh,
And the Salubri.
should I make that roll to remember to think of what connections and relations Artemis might have with Inanna?
Sure. That's going to be intelligence plus politics, difficulty 9.
Can I spend a willpower on that or no?
Yes, you can.
That's 2 successes.
So, at the very least, she has no problems with her because she had to sign off on naming her position of Wigil,
Mm-hmm.
which again is the Roman equivalent of the sheriff, essentially.
Yes.
They have interacted many times at the Eternal Senate meetings. Ainana is very old, inconsistently old. Her memory is not to be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
And she has interacted positively with Cretheus and his sire Mithros.
Let's see. Not nowhere near a guarantee, but perhaps. Speaking again, how Headshifter will say, we would, if we could get the information out to enough of the correct people and convince them of it enough, there might be a chance. It would have to be quick, and it would have to be convincing, but it might be possible. Some of her clients, some of the I doubt the humanists of the city will appreciate this.
Again, Alyssa speaks. I believe you underestimate Kybiel's verbal skills. You underestimate her ability to be persuasive. The things she and her friends would have to say, I promise you they will override any temporary distaste for working with her. They are determined to destroy Carthage, and they have the story to do it.
What do you think they are going to say that will be so effective to make them to make the idea of working Tabala palatable for the Eternal Senate?
They're going to claim that Carthage harbors the Balai. That Carthage sacrifices children to the Balai.
Would there be anything to roll to, yeah, to know if she's like being honest?
She is delivering it as if she believes that's what Kybiel's going to say.
I cannot speak for my companions, but if the time comes and we haven't thought of a better way, I will not interfere when you slay her. I will let the others answer for themselves.
I do not believe that my interference will change the outcome of the fight between you and whether you win or you lose. So no, I will not interfere.
But isn't it? But they come for something else. The consent must be unanimous. As even one of us who changes their minds or acts otherwise is going to hamper their plans, is not?
And I do plan to try to get the word out to Artemis or to Sibyl about this. So should I roll to lie? I do not plan to interfere the fight, but I do plan to rat them out. Should I roll for a lie on this for them to try to?
Yes, they are going to attempt to penetrate your words. And I'm going through the book to make sure I'm calling for the correct rolls here.
I mean, if you use your words carefully, then I don't know, it might be subtle and enough. I don't really know. Sometimes not speaking is the best way.
So she's going to roll perception plus subterfuge. No aspects against your manipulation plus subterfuge.
Okay. Would the persuasive specialization count for the money?
What's your specialization?
Persuade.
Persuasive?
Yes.
Yes, that will definitely help.
I also going to use a willpower.
Okay. And so is she. And she's going to roll perception plus subterfuge, and she has appropriate specialties to make 10s count.
Please.
So five successes.
6, isn't it 6 because you spend willpower?
No, 5 because the 10 goes to 2, so 4 in the willpower. So
Those rolls.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on 5. This is an active
Isn't it
attempt. I think we
attacker?
need a clear winner. Let's roll again.
Okay.
Neither one gets to spend willpower here.
So Alyssa had 5 as well.
Yep. She also spent a willpower.
So isn't that ties go to the defender?
Well, it's active against active here. She's actively lying and actively listening.
Fuck. Ah,
1,
fuck.
2, 3. Oof.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, she won. She won. There's 6 with.
So she
plus
looks at you
10s.
and she says, "We will require active guarantees that you will not interfere or betray us. Swear that you will not breathe a word or in any way betray that we are coming, along with your pledge to stand aside and let us do what needs to be done."
Is this like some magic?
and I'm going to. Let me see. I'm going to use Nocturne. Try to cover that.
Sorry,
Okay.
what are you going to do?
Nocturne.
She's dropping Nocturne. All right, so we're gonna.
What is?
So she gets to
what's
do this
Nocturne?
out of turn order because she's just doing it. And then we would go back into combat rounds.
May I ask what's Nocturne?
Obtenebration level 2.
Blob of
Mm.
darkness to cover
Where
up
are you
the
doing that?
escape.
By concentrating on summoning forth darkness, Lasombra with this ability can summon a wreathing cloud of supernatural darkness to engulf an area and obscure all sources of light. This is a manifestation of the abyss that muffles sound and sight and smothers life out of the weak. The character who summons it must actively maintain it. The cloud dissipates as soon as the character's concentration is broken.
So you can't actually run away.
So this is a free
You-
action.
I mean, I'm still able to run while maintaining it.
You can walk.
Okay.
This is a free action. You need only make the roll. Manipulation plus occult.
I hope this goes like fourth, like initiative fourth and coming back to non-initiative. It's like repeating itself, like the mental breakdown of this moment we are experiencing.
Let's see. Combat. Fighting.
I think at this point it's pretty much over. When it comes to parlay.
What does success do in this power? What does success allow you?
Each success equals to 10 feet.
Okay, 10 feet is still good, so I guess. Can you say
So-
that you place it like this so it covers Sybil too? It will be.
Hang on a minute, guys. I need to
preferable.
do something with the music here. I'm gonna put my combat back on.
I
All right.
listened to very good combat RPG music, but I don't remember the name of it. I think it will fit perfect.
So, please ping where you are putting it.
She's the center.
All right. It is 3 meters in diameter. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to draw a black square or a black shape around her. Draw shape.
Happens to cover most of the coterie.
So this is actually not the Stygian Shroud or whatever. This is actually a different kind of darkness.
Shoot, I hit the wrong button there. Give me a second. Yes, this is a complete sphere of darkness.
Okay, not okay. Oh yeah. So we lose for stamina, right? I have like 2 stamina.
Come on, you stupid thing.
I'm gonna draw.
Draw shape. Black. Alt. Select. Come on, give me the ellipse here. That's not what I wanted. Alright, well, it's not letting me grab it. Anyways. It's a black
It's not
circle,
letting you grab that?
and it covers Hatshepsut, and it covers Labiena. Alright, that is what it engulfs.
Okay.
Something like this.
Alright.
Isn't that 10 feet?
Well, you are the epicenter, and it's 3 meters in diameter. So,
Oh, okay.
3 in front of you, 3 behind you, and the 3 around you. And 3 up, 3 down, so all the way around.
do you have specialty in octambration, which will give you one more 10 feet?
So, all perception pools are reduced by 5 dice, except for Labiena, except for Albina, not Labiena. Difficulties of all rolls from characters within the cloud are increased by 2. She is going to activate Auspex to make it only 2 dice instead of 5 dice.
I believe I also get a similar benefit from Dark Sight, like
Correct.
reduce the penalty.
Yes. You must take an action to activate that, though.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for
it
drawing
makes-
that, whoever just drew that. Alright, additionally, characters inside the cloud have their stamina pools reduced by 2, again, except for the summoning Lasombra, who is immune to her own stuff. Alright. Labiena. Reflectively activates her Auspex. Labiena is not stupid, by any means. She yoinks herself backwards over the bench. She stumbles out of the cloud behind it.
Fuck, I'm gonna die.
Hyacinth. He's launching fire at Albina. He's using Tormented Essence. Spend a blood point. The character gathers infernal pain in their hands. Most commonly, this manifests as a bolt of black flame. Player rolls dexterity plus occult to hit the target, who may dodge as normal. Now, he's launching this blind straight ahead. So, if he has no idea, the only way he's going to know if he hits her is if the cloud dissipates. If she could dodge left, she could dodge behind, she could dodge whatever. He will not know if it hits or misses her.
Well, if she theoretically she could matrix jump over and into his face, and then
She could.
Then
She
he'd see
could
it.
get right up in his face, and he'd have no idea. She could drop to her belly and get right at his feet. He would not know.
Okay.
He is literally
yeah,
just
because,
walking
you-
straight ahead.
So are you coming to a point of it's more difficult to hit her? Is that the point? Sorry.
No, the point is, whatever she does, he has no idea what she's doing. He is launching it where he last saw her.
Okay.
That is what his role is to do, where he last saw her.
Okay.
Now, and remember, he doesn't know the initiative turn order. He doesn't know how fast she's moving.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Considering it's not written on her forehead as characters, we are just doing the meta game of shit. It would be fun if that was so.
Okay, he is
The fire.
spending. Let's see, what is his expenditure?
We are required for this mission to succeed.
Yeah, he's dropping
We are...
7 blood total for this.
Jesus. Jesus fucking Christ.
All right, here we go. Perception Dex plus occult.
Guys, this is the moment to sell your soul at a demon to save you out of this. Just saying it. I might go for that. I hope it will work. Some Deus Ex.
I'm gonna be trying to dodge.
And let's see, he has 5 extra dex.
Fuck, you should boosted your dexterity before doing the power.
Okay. Go ahead and dodge.
Is it the difficulty at higher levels because of the...
Well, again, he threw it where he last saw you. He doesn't know if you've already moved or not. So he literally just threw it at you. But if it was at higher levels, he would still have 3 successes. Because he rolled a 999.
Normally over here you ring that number when you don't want fire.
Yeah.
Okay, that was nice.
Alright, so roll Dex plus Athletics.
I did got 0 success.
Alright.
Oh,
So
shit.
before I roll damage, I need you to roll your courage at difficulty 8. And because I'm a generous god,
0.
okay, so
Failed the
you are in
courage roll.
fear frenzy. At the start of next round, you're in fear frenzy. The darkness disappears at the start of next round. I am going to go ahead and rule that he only has 2 extra successes. I'm going to make the damage roll only 2 extra dice. So we're going to say it was the 999. So, rolling for 9 ag.
9 egg damage?
1, 2. Hey, on the plus side, you take 2 ag, but you are on fire.
Fuck. Fuck. I'm gonna die. This is the next turn for the... She's gonna cut my throat. He's gonna cut my throat.
By the way, if your vision is not impeded by... you do have fortitude, don't you? That is outstanding.
No, not fortitude. Actually, I do have fortitude. Fuck, I completely forgot about that. So,
Well, this ignores armor. But you do get to roll your fortitude to soak.
yeah,
Okay.
fortitude is total 3. So 1 success, so soaking 1.
That is a damn good thing. Alright.
Yeah, I mean... Alvina rocks. I'm not
Milky
doing
is
anything.
going to spend. He's going to spend 2 blood for celerity, which drops his initiative to 14. Or it's going to, for 2 extra actions, I should say. But he still goes before you do, Sybil. So we're going to go ahead and roll this. He's going to stab you right in the neck.
Ah, fuck.
He's going to slit your throat.
Fuck. Can I dodge that?
Yes, you can. That is your action.
Can I use my merit to get away? You know.
He's not
the
holding you with
splint
strength.
joints.
It's literally just a knife against your neck. And he's just got like a handful of your robes.
Okay. So I can do some slimy.
But you can like try to
things.
like slide down out of it or something, like just like slip out, or you can roll strength plus brawl plus potence to grab his arm and keep him from slicing across your neck.
Yeah, this sounds more fun. Can I spend 1 blood for using potence as automatic success?
Yes, that is an excellent thing to do, and he is also spending. What is his current dex? 9 or 7? He can go up to 8, so he's gonna spend 2 more blood for dex.
Ah, fuck. Okay, maybe I shouldn't done that. Whatever. Okay, let's see. Chris.
Yes. I'm listening.
Can I spend 1? Fuck. Can I spend 1 willpower to add 2 more dice to that strength roll? What is it called? Willpower strength roll or whatever. Can I use that as a bonus?
Feat of strength? No, that's basically only for damage or like I have to lift this piece of thing.
Can I then just spend normal willpower for 1 more success?
Yes, I will let you do that.
Okay.
All right.
And then I'm gonna roll. Okay. 3. Question? Oh, I'm gonna fail.
He actually got
whatever.
9 successes because he's got specialty.
I'm not gonna pass this. I don't even have to roll. This like even if I
You
get
will
full
want to
success-
roll because it will lessen how many damage dice he can do.
Okay.
What's your potence rating?
1.
1. So that's
I'm
1 down.
not
So
a fighter.
that's
I also have 1 willpower, so that's 2 done. Sorry, brawl and strength. Okay, so that's 4 more dice.
all right. Sybil, while you are struggling, you get some unexpected help. Albina's Childa has been hanging out by the trapdoor, and you guys just haven't she hasn't been brought any attention to herself on purpose. She's been peeking out the trapdoor, keeping an extremely low profile, preparing this. And she called these into being last round, just in case. And I'm going to have to make the roll to see how many pop up and wrap around his arm to help you. Characters. Yeah, she pops up, and she has summoned arms of the Ahriman, the tentacles. Albina, Vessels, Catalina.
I wouldn't ever think that I will be so happy for Alvina to just embrace someone.
Alright, these are diff 7. Shit. I'm so sorry for you. I tried. I tried.
Can she make 1 more roll with higher difficulty like we're supposed to do time to time?
Alright, diff 8.
Fuck. Why is
Looks
this force not coming for the enemies and it's coming for the fucking allies? What is this RNG?
Alright.
Fuck you, RNG.
Strength plus 1, 2, 3, 4. So strength plus 4 extra successes plus 4 quietest dice. So 8 strength plus 8, and he had.
I'm
extra
this
strength.
is the kill. Fuck this. I'm dead. I'm gonna die. I'm so fucking dead. No.
Alright,
Sibyl,
what's his
the
strength?
moment you got your
6.
perfect. Gonna die
1,
today.
2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ag.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
As that burning acid knife rips across your throat, just. I believe that drops you into crippled, if I'm not mistaken.
I started from the bruised and went
So,
5 steps.
1, 2, 3,
so
4, 5. You are ag and mauled, so you're at -2 dice on all wound penalties.
Yes. Is
Alright.
it only physical stuff? Does it affect the
Everything.
mental
It just
things
everything
too?
except for virtues and willpower.
I think it's specifically non-reflexive rolls, so
Yeah.
technically soak as well is safe.
Yeah, soak is safe. Strength is safe.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, so he has a celerity, 2 celerity actions actually, but we'll get to those. Danelle is a non-combatant, and he is obfuscating the fuck out of there.
Smart.
Actually, he's not, because he thought he was going to obfuscate out of there.
But he doesn't have the power to do that?
Oh, he does, but he ain't going to get a chance to use it.
Oh,
Because this is when Inanna unobfuscates and uses her dementation.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah, uses her dementation to activate his derangement, and he begins stabbing himself and screaming about how pain will be your liberation and embrace the pain, and he falls to the ground in extreme pain, still trying to disembowel himself. Literally.
Mm.
Alyssa is fucked, and she knows it. No, there's no good way to put that.
Yeah.
You know who else is fucked? Me.
Oh, the combat music stopped already? Didn't realize the music list was that short.
It sensed Inanna was coming.
It doesn't want to be in the sheriff's way.
Unless the music pot shut off by itself for some reason.
It's
All right.
cool. It's okay.
She is running. Fuck this, I'm out. Actually, she's shit, she's going for the windows.
My original plan.
No, she's going for the front door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, she's going for the door.
Where is it? Where's the front door? Can the ghoul stop her?
Turn order.
Like reflect?
Yeah,
Okay.
she is literally just running.
They still have the fireball eye.
Gizco.
Ooh, Gisco is gonna hit hard at her.
Yeah, he launches himself at Ainana, so they're engaged in a fight.
Cool. There's nothing to stop me from dying now.
Mercurio is throwing himself at Balhyatin, and he is attacking from flank, so he gets a extra dice. He's rolling Dex melee. Come on, melee. He's got a short sword on him. Oh, I didn't roll his extra dice. Four successes. He's rolling damage. One for potence. Plus 2, 3. Extra successes. Oh, plus 2 more dice for the sword. Nothing. Wow, 7. That is an excellent roll.
So what do you mean by 7?
He did 7 lethal damage.
Yeah, you just rolled 2 dice.
Mercurio, for damage, rolls 7 successes. Plus 2 extra because I forgot the sword damage.
And Hyacinth is a barley, so he doesn't get fortitude.
Nope.
And-
He has 3 dots of stamina.
Okay. Oh, that's 7 you mean? Okay, I looked at your last roll and there was like 6 and 1 and 7. I thought you were like talking about this, so I was confused.
He gets hit. So, what you guys, as you're engaged in combat, Mercurio sees Balhyatin launch this bolt of black, greenish, coalesced anger and rage and pain at his mistress. And he just like, oh, fuck you, no. And he leaps the bench, leaps over the stabbing form of Danelle the priest, and just takes that blade and he does the leaping jump and jams it right down in Hyacinth's back. Just BAM! You see the blade pop out of his chest. He hits him so hard. Hyacinth stumbles and goes to one knee and grabs at the blade like, oh god, it hurt! Oh! Yeah, he's in some serious pain.
Mhm. I wonder if Danelle's ever asked Hyacinth to hit him with that Daimonin.
Asked? No.
Anyway, I'll go through this real quick because I need to grab food soon, but it's my turn now.
Yep.
Okay. So I think at this point, honestly, I think at this point, Hat would be frenzying.
Yes. Roll instincts to guide your frenzy.
The darkness is gone, right?
It expires at the end of this round.
Because a circle is kind of distracting me. So this
Fuck, I got a 10. Jesus.
Alright. You can
That's
guide
good.
your frenzy this round. As you descend into frenzy, instinctively, you pick a target.
Hyacinth, and I'm just gonna
Okay.
go for it real quick now.
Alright. Your
1
this is
point.
at +2 difficulty.
Wait, no.
Because you
Hold
can't
on,
see
I need
him through
to-
the darkness.
Okay, yeah. Spending some blood though. Words. 1 point to Dex, 2 points to Stam, 2 points to Strength, and then 1 to activate Typhonic Maw. And I'm going for a bite.
Okay, I believe you have to grapple first, but let me check.
Typhonic Maw is specifically an exception to that.
Outstanding.
Yeah, and it's aggravated damage.
Who is she biting?
Hyaton.
I didn't realize you had a Serpentis 4 or 2. I was looking at 4
Yeah,
for
I
a
got.
second.
I got it too. And and if if any of the Carthaginians can see this, that probably also the ghouls as well are probably going to be surprised because also this also means that because she's just insta frenzying, she's in the appearance 0
Yep.
form.
All right. Dex Brawl, Diff 8.
Are you not going to move? Like, so?
I'll do that
In a
once
second.
I've made the
Yeah,
roll.
give him a second.
You know, I didn't know that we rocked so good at fighting. Not me.
Fortunately,
But,
you
you know,
got a
some of
success.
us.
You lunge from the darkness, and you clamp down right on his shoulder, because that's the closest point to you, the shoulder top of his head. Your jaw just opens up like a goblin shark, and you just get a huge clamp from his shoulder blade to his pec muscle.
Mm-hmm. And with that, I need to. Oh wait, no. Would I be able to bite for blood, or do I need to bite for damage in this case?
You can bite for blood. It's blood or
is
damage.
that
You tell me. Blood or damage. One or
Damage
the
is
other.
Go with blood.
All right. You
And-
sink your
and
teeth
with
into
that-
him, and he gets an instant willpower roll to throw off the kiss. But that's reflexive. You gain 5 blood as you suck it out of him.
And
This tastes
with that-
really good. Like, more potent than yours. Tastes sweet.
yeah.
Oh, so good. Oh, so it tastes great.
But yeah, and with that, I need to be right.
Yep. Sybil, you're up. You used your
yeah,
action,
I used
actually.
my action, but can I boost my stat spending blood?
Sure. How much
Cool.
blood did you spend already? 1 for potency, that was
None.
it?
Ah, yes, 1 for potence. Yes, that's true. So I have 5 remaining points per turn. Yeah. So I will boost my dexterity with that 5, just putting all the 5 into dexterity.
What's your... Okay.
My current dexterity is 3.
So that takes
It's
you
going
to
to my
8. Yep, that's max for you.
yeah my yes, that's
Alright.
max for me.
Nicodemus, you're up.
Nicodemus had his sights on Hyaton, the pure contempt towards the Balai clearly manifesting on his face. But upon seeing Hatshepsut stumbling in his way, he recoils back, turns his sights towards Urumilki. He dashes. He boosts his strength by 3 and dexterity by 1. Keeping track of that. Gonna move. How much hexes can we move? Sorry, something's screwing up with
You
my
can move
client.
7, and without taking any kind of penalty.
7, right?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's be here. Like from around the bench. I'm not going into melee with him, but we'll throw a dagger at him.
Okay. He's going to use a Dex Brawl action, one of his celerity actions. He has 2 celerity actions, to whip Sybil in front of him when you do this.
Rip.
Whip. He's gonna
Rip.
try to turn Sybil so that your dagger hits him.
Using her as a human shield,
Yeah, he's
pretty
gonna
much.
use Sybil as a shield.
Okay, so this is in reaction that it's. Well, I'm throwing anyway.
Uramilki, he has 2 celerity actions, so this is one of his celerity actions.
So how much worse this gets for throwing?
It's
Is it
contested.
dex,
He has to time it right, get him in front of him, everything. He has to roll his. This is going to be strength plus brawl against your dex plus athletics to throw it.
Celerity keeps the difficulty same, right?
Correct.
But do you still lose the dice?
No, he does not lose any dice. I don't think he loses any dice. I believe he keeps his full dice pool. It's a good question, though. I'll double check. Because it changes from edition to edition.
Yeah, it's crazy between the editions.
Okay. Should I roll normally? What's the difficulty?
Roll 6. It's difficulty 6. Yes, they do not lose any dice in Dark Ages celerity.
Okay.
Okay, spending willpower on that. Oh no, it's actually this many. And that's only 4 successes.
Yep.
Fuck.
Right, well, he has no potence. And he's not spending any willpower. All right. So just roll regular throwing knife damage. Which I believe is simply strength -1, if I remember correctly.
I think it's just strength.
Because you had specialty
Oh,
knives
you mean
built.
throwing?
Yeah, throwing knife.
No, I don't really have specialty.
Yeah.
Oh, special throwing knife. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
If
Sybil
survives, you can
2
just
lethal.
risk to borrow. Okay.
If you have armor on, it helps. I don't think you have armor on though.
I have heavy clothing.
All right, so that does actually add for this.
Dice.
Yeah, it's plain strength. So it's not strength -1, but that's okay. All right, so Sybil, the knife hits you and it sticks in your clothing, but it doesn't actually penetrate to your skin.
Thanks God it's not a throwing knife.
All right, Tyrannus Pilum. He's throwing a javelin at difficulty 8.
To who?
Labiena's ghoul.
Oh.
No, to who is he throwing the javelin?
He's targeting the assassin, Urumilki.
Okay.
In PC characters.
Is this flanking?
Labiena. No, because he's attacking from a distance.
Not from ranged.
Dex plus athletics, 5 dice. Combat adds Dex. Athletics. Roll. That should be diff 8, not diff 6.
Oh, wow.
I'm back. What did I miss?
Not much, because you just missed Tyrannus double botch a javelin throw. I do not typically allow you to hit your allies. He took a step forward. He gets ready to throw it, and he forgets to let go, and he stabs himself right in the foot. Kabam! He pins his foot to the ground, and he screams, "Ah!" And he starts, he literally just pinned his foot into the wood of the floor. He's basically out of the fight for a while.
Yeah.
It's better than attacking Sybil with the javelin, which will be very dangerous.
All right, Albina in frenzy. What is Albina's frenzy action?
I mean, since it's
I
the
take
fear
that
friends,
back.
I imagine that should.
I take that back. You attempted to dodge, so that's your action. All right, there is one celerity action left. That's Urumilky, and he wants to finish Sybil off.
Ah, fuck off. I'm not saying this to you, I'm saying this to the NPC.
He's gonna knife you in the back.
Fuck. I can't dodge that, right?
Nope. You just have to hope that he fucks it up bad.
He's not going to do it. That's fucking 9 dice or whatever.
Okay.
Here
So
comes
4
the
extra
fourth
successes
character.
plus 3. So add 7, 8. Add 7 dice to his strength. Strength plus 7. So he has 6, so 13 dice. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 ag through your heavy clothing.
I'm dead. Turn into ash. Smoke.
I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
It's okay.
Ay, 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 ay. I wonder
Well,
if the freaking
I'm
music
sh-
player
I'm sure
keeps shutting off.
I'm sure the demon will be pleased.
Not really, because you never sold your soul.
Yeah, and if you had like demons like their souls to mature a bit before consuming them. You know, it's like wine.
All right, well, that's his celerity action. We're back to the top of the order. Labiana is going to use her necromancy to punish Urumilky for this.
To be honest, I'm half surprised that Urumilky didn't drain Sybil.
Middle of combat.
Yeah.
Necromancy. Here we go. Intelligence plus medicine, diff 8. Character sheets. Labiana. Dice. Intelligence plus medicine, diff 8. Roll. That is excellent news. She did have to spend a willpower point. And I just dropped that card. Alright. That's her action. She elects not to spend you know what? She is spending 2 blood for celerity, so she drops down to 15 after this. And she draws her flaming mace. She draws a weapon, it pops into flame.
Nice.
Alright.
I wonder if that would keep going till the charges run out. If my character dies.
Yes, it does. It is permanently enchanted.
Hmm.
Ayaton's going to spend 5 blood to heal. And he's going to launch flame directly into your abdomen. Hatchips it.
Speaking of which, let's see if that happens.
Unfortunately, he can only, because of his generational limits, this will inflict at a maximum 3 act, or it's 3 plus however many extra successes he gets. Plus, he's getting actually kind of low on blood.
Yeah, because I just took a whole bunch of it.
Yep.
And he had to heal. And he spent like 6 even.
I'm actually going to lower the difficulty. Or, you know what? I'm going to leave the difficulty as is because he still has to concentrate and summon this. And he's got 2 people on him, even though you're right there. So he doesn't actually have to aim. So I'm going to rule that all cancels out. Son of a bitch.
Bloody hell.
Whoa.
Looks like he didn't need that lower difficulty.
Yeah, that's actually 9 successes. You know what? I'm going to say 8. I'm still going to say it goes up by 1 because you got 3 7s, 2 8s, a 9, and a 10. So let's just say he has 7 extra successes. Now, Hatshepsut, roll your instinct to guide your frenzy. And then you tell me, do you want to attempt to let go and dodge?
Oops, I accidentally rolled twice.
That's okay,
Oh,
you
that's
succeeded.
1.
Or do you want to just accept this?
I'm gonna take this hit, see what happens.
Okay. So, 3 plus 7, so 10 dice. Ag damage. Not bad. Only 2 successes. Now the black penalty around the Black Nocturne is gone.
So Mark 2 Ag, and since I'm a masochist, can I get a willpower from that?
No.
Damn.
No. You take 2 ag, and your clothes catch on fire.
Oh well.
Time to embrace Seaton with your burning clothes.
Uru Milky, having been affected by intimations of mortality, can still use potent celerity and fortitude, but cannot spend blood to increase physical tributes. All actions are at a +2 difficulty. He will.
Fucking yes, I might.
He will spend. Here's the question: does he go after Labiana or does he go after Nicodemus? 50-50 chance here. If I roll high, he goes after Labiana. If I roll low, he goes after Nicodemus. Nicodemus. All right. He's going to spend 2 blood and for 2 celerity. And his action is going to be a knife attack on... His regular action will be a knife attack on Nicodemus as he closes in.
If this guy kills Nicodemus and survives, I'm gonna make a fucking Bruja with celerity and potence to come after him.
Oh, no, he's not getting out of this. He's just not aware that
Yeah.
the elders are here.
Right now, basically all the Carthaginians can do is try and take as many people down.
Yeah.
So he moves and he attacks. I dodge.
Okay.
I
he
spend
got-
my action to dodge.
He got 2 successes for a 10, and so he got 5 successes. So, Dex Athletics, to dodge, you need 5 or more.
Still gonna try because this is really my best bet. Spending willpower on this, Dex plus Athletics, this is 8 dice. Oh man, at least I nullify some of his successes. That's
did? So-
3 total.
So 3, and he has 2 ag left on his weapon. So 3, 5, strength plus 5.
Strength plus 5.
Which I have to roll, of course. His
Mhm.
current strength is 6, so 11 dice. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6 ag. Armor plus
Perfect.
fortitude.
So, you said he had 2 ag left, and he's now 6.
Well, each
Okay.
hit takes 1 away.
Okay.
Yeah, each attack, not
Uh,
each hit, each attack takes 1 away. Hit,
Uh,
miss, soaked,
okay, so-
whatever.
Okay, it basically means that I'm spending blood to kick off fortitude to soak automatically too. That's how it works.
Yes, that does work for this.
Ooh, you have
And I'm
fortitude.
And I'm taking for ag then.
Okay? This hurts a lot.
Wounded.
You're on humanity, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you need to roll frenzy for this. Unless you want to. Unless you think Nicodemus needs to.
Tell me one thing. I've spent my action to dodge. Can I still move during
Yes, you
my
can.
turn?
Yes, you can.
No, not. I don't want a frenzy right now.
Alright. Alright, that's fine. Denell just torpor himself. He's out of the fight. Or actually, he's incapacitated himself. Alyssa is gone. She has escaped. She bursts through the door and she goes.
Fucking went through.
Gisco's getting his ass whooped. You see
Yeah.
two blurring forms, the form of this green-clad female, just blocking every blow. He goes for a tackle. She just sidesteps, whaps him across the back of the head. He turns around, and she just takes... Her hands pop out into these huge, nasty-looking claws, and she just whap, whap, whips him a couple of times across the chest, rips the armor and stuff off of him, grabs him, puts him face down on the ground, and starts jackhammering his head with her fist, just pounding it into the floor.
Well,
So he's not going to last much longer.
the goddess she's either named after or the goddess named after her does have war as a domain.
Mercurio's doing a called shot to Hyacin's head. So he gets his dex melee, which is however many dice, 4 I think. There we go. Difficulty 8. Gets an extra dice for that.
Yeah. If Nicodemus survives, he might
Wow!
get Maximilian.
Oh my god. What a roll. 4 successes targeted against his head. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus strength, plus potence. So 10, 11 dice to roll. One, two, three, 4, 5. Oh my god, that's a lot of 5s. That sucks.
Doesn't he get like extra damage from the cold shot?
Yes, he did.
Oh, okay.
Against his head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too bad 10s don't count twice. Alright, Hatshepsut, you're up. You still have your fangs locked on him. And
Quick
but you're on
question.
fire.
Yeah. Well, quick question. Healing ag damage, does it require time as well as the 5 blood, or?
It is 3 blood and a night's rest for each level of ag.
Right, so I can't heal that bit right now.
Correct. That is
I'm gonna
Dark Ages
spend 1
rule.
blood. Mhm. I'm going to spend 1 blood to heal the point of bashing I still have in there. And
May I ask something? How much, if she decides to not put off the fire, how much damage is she going to take next turn?
1. It's pretty small.
I'm gonna keep going for now and take another 5 blood. Or actually, no, I can't fit that much. Well, I'll spend some more to buff my stats.
Okay.
And yeah.
Are you gonna hunger frenzy him?
He actually will have to test for that.
Yeah. Right now, Cat's just in this single-minded haze of eat, eat, eat.
I hope you are not 6th generation if you are going for the Diablo, right?
Okay. Sybil is unfortunately dead. Your Shilda attempts to summon more tentacles to get Urumilky, so we're gonna call them up. And she summons 1. Alright, Nicodemus, you used her action, but do you want to move?
Yeah, chicken shitting out of there.
I don't blame you.
That should be 7. Just like squeeze behind the pillar, like a good coward.
Alright. Albina, you're in frenzy. What do you do in frenzy? Run,
Fear friend,
or try to get the fire out.
So fear friend, so I think I should try to get the fire out.
Okay. So you stop, drop, and roll, screaming and yelling. The fire will go out. It's decently small. He didn't hit you that hard with it, despite having a good chance of it. You're still in fear frenzy, which next round you will run away from him. Towards the windows, probably.
Yes.
Alright, Labiana and Urumilky both have 2 celerity actions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She sprints up. You don't see Labiana do this very often, but she blurs. Whoosh! And she just takes that flaming mace and she is swinging for the fences. Going for that skull bashing crush. Wow!
I'm so fucking sad.
I think he's going to reflectively duck. No, you know what? She's gonna hit that. He's not gonna. He doesn't see her coming. He's focused on Nicodemus. Doesn't see her coming. So strength plus. How much does her mace do? 2. Blunt weapons, mace, strength plus 2 lethal, which is now 2 ag, thanks to being on fire.
No, I thought it was the whole damage that is aggravated.
Yes. And her strength is 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. She caves his skull in with a flaming mace. She crunches him right in the back of the head, just called pow! He stumbles, hits to his knees, kind of rolls forward a little bit on his shoulder. He's going to have to roll courage, because that was on fire.
Get the taste of your own weapon, you Esamite filth.
His courage is 4. Diff 7. He turns around at a Diff 8 at a -2 dice. His hair is singed and smoking. His turban wrap is come askew. He just kind of shrugs it off real quick and launches at her with his knife. So I again apologize for doing 2 NPCs at each other at the moment, but
Can't be.
It's inevitable. Oh shit. Oh
Holy
fuck.
shit.
He's rolling so fucking good. How many 8s and 9s is that? Like, what the fuck? Why is that? Why isn't that luck coming to us? Like,
that's 8s,
what are
8s,
we
and
supposed-
9s. Because he's rolling a Diff 8. God damn. Alright. Strength
if
plus
there's a god,
2
if there's a god, it's hating us.
plus 7, so 9. Strength plus 9. So 15. Jesus Christ.
Do you even want to roll that?
I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not too bad.
I believe she has some fortitude.
She does have fortitude, and I believe she wears heavy clothing
And-
as well.
Yeah, and it's lethal damage now, isn't it?
Nope, still ag. But he only
Okay.
has 1 more charge of ag left, so...
Okay.
So she takes 4 ag herself. And now she's gonna go ahead and roll her next attack, which hopefully will put him down. Unfortunately, she's also at a -2 dice penalty now. So strength plus 2.
Nice. Does
Strength
she
plus
have
2 plus 2,
specialty?
so 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. She crashes that flaming mace against Uramilki's head, and he goes down, turns around, whips around, takes that knife, whack, slashes it hard, and it looks like it hurt bad across her gut. She like bends over, just turns around in a circle, takes that mace again, bam, straight across his chest, and it literally caves his chest in. You see him, poof, ash. All that's left is scraps of clothing and the knife, which clatters to the ground. So Uramilki's done. He's out.
Now here's another real deal.
The fire boy.
He still has a good chance to kill me, and I am aware of this.
You might have no blood to spend for this fire thing anymore.
I guess he still has some. It's not much, but it's some.
It's kind of sad that the both characters I have played and existing right now in the screen, both of them are done right at the beginning of the fight. This is just the description of my fate.
Meanwhile, my two characters are both killing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I can help it, I'm actually not going to go for the full-on kill with Hat.
I'm sure you will go for the Diablo Rising.
Actually, no. Surprising as that may be.
He's
I
gonna go ahead and just.
know.
He has to make a self-control roll because he is nearing for Hunger Frenzy. So, Milky, you're done. Hi, Gizko, you're pretty much done. Hyacinth. What is your self-control? That's a good question.
I believe it's free.
He bites you. He's sucking
Yeah.
your blood too.
But
He sucks 3 blood from you.
unfortunately for him, I can suck faster than him.
Yep, but you lose 3, but he gains 3, but then he's gonna get 1, 2, 3. Then he's gonna lose 5, which is okay.
Just repeat till he goes torpor.
All right. Inanna takes her foot and just stomps down on Gizko's head, and he just turns to ash. Kapoof. Mercurio, again, same thing. Called shot, head.
Is this
To be
easier because the Hayaton is focused at feeding, so more
To-
vulnerable?
To be honest, major props for to Mercurio for being able to like just keep collected enough to keep doing that in this situation.
Nice.
Does he have
Alright.
specialty? That will be very
Fu-
nice.
Hell, fuck, Mercurio's fucking badass.
Alright, so he does strength plus 1, 2, 3, 4 extra 4, 5, 6. Strength plus 6 plus potency 7. Wow, he's gonna do
Oh,
great
God.
on this one. Fuck yeah.
Holy shit!
Murderous rampage.
He hauls off and he does the scene where Eowyn decapitates that lizard-looking thing from Lord of the Rings. He just hauls back, and he did the 1 strike against his head, and then he pulls back, 2nd strike, boom, clean shot. Hyacinth's head falls off. And his body hits the ground, and then he turns to ash.
So the question of whether I would even try to go for Diablerie is irrelevant now.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing because I believe you are 6th generation and he's like 5, so you wouldn't be
The other
able to-
question
Yeah.
is, you're still in frenzy.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have passed because now the fight is
Still
over.
gets to make
essentially.
a. You know what I'm gonna do? Curio.
If
literally
Civil
just-
was around,
Earned himself.
your voice
Eh,
is.
he just got
I
himself
believe.
something awesome. I'm gonna do. What do I want to give him for doing that?
Your voice is lagging.
I'm trying to figure out
If
what I
you
want
might
to give him
to-
as a reward for just decapitating a ball eye.
One could say that that's its own reward, but yes.
Specialty against vampires in melee.
I'm gonna give him 5 experience.
Honestly, I tempted to try to have him brace after this.
All right.
Embrace. Whoa, you're going wild. But I mean, I'm okay with
Shield
it.
there.
Hatchips it. Instinct roll.
Yep. And this is where things really might go horribly wrong. Actually, no, I'm still on fire, so I should probably focus on putting that out first.
Yep.
Yeah, have Beast hurt, and Beast hurt in a not fun way. Beast hurt in a not informative way.
Yes,
Beast's
roll
gonna
fortitude,
roll.
by the way. Soku 1 ag.
I don't have.
Yeah, you're gonna
I
put
don't
it out.
have fortitude.
You're gonna put it out. Don't worry about it. You
Yeah.
put it out.
Yeah.
That's your action. It's out. Your Childa's not stupid. She sees the situation's well under control. She holds fire. Guys, that's it.
Fucking Christ. That didn't go perfectly. Sympathies, Dennis. But it went a lot better than it could have gone.
So as you guys are taking a breather,
Of
oh
course.
my god, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That escalated suddenly.
As I say that, I just think the
A-
sheriff's here, and she heard all of that.
Chris, you might want to change the server. Your
Yeah,
voice
put
is-
it back where it was. I'll tell you guys what. It's time for a 15-minute break. Come back at a quarter after.
Okay.
Okay, guys, we're back. So, as you are taking in the aftermath, you're coming out of frenzy, calming Albana down. Mercurio has just kind of sat down where he's at, and he's starting to get the shakes, the post-combat. And his hands are shaking a little bit. Labiana walks over to her ghoul, just grabs the spear and just yanks it out of his foot. You freaking idiot! What the hell? I thought you said you were really good at this. And the blood in his body begins to force close the wound, so he begins to heal. A woman walks in with the comatose form of Alyssa the Merchant. Now, she is actually fairly tall for this age. She's very close to 2 meters tall, 6 feet. She's got very dirty blonde hair. She's wearing kind of ragged leather armor. Her hair is pulled back behind her, and it looks locked into place with metal like shackles, and it looks almost like they've been forge welded around her hair. And she has a couple of long, wicked-looking knives in a belt at her waist. And she looks... she's not terribly beautiful. Maybe appearance 3. But she walks in with this one-handed dragging this venture with her by the scruff of her neck. Throws her on the floor in front of Ainana. And then Ainana's gathering up the... she puts Danelle in torpor. Actually takes out a stake and jams it through his heart. And Ainana turns around to look at all of you. She says, you're useful fools after all. Artemis was right. And she takes the time to just study all of you in the silence.
Albina goes over to comfort Mercurio out of his battle.
Hat is sort of brushing herself off after all that. Presumably still in the appearance zero form, but trying to not look like completely unsuited to all of this. Thinking for a moment, she looks to Inanna. If I may ask, how much of the information that came about in the conversation before this were you already aware of?
Oh, we knew that the Carthaginians would be recruiting heavily here. Artemis has long been aware of your, say, fascination with the city. Perhaps if you look back over the years, you'll see that she has subtly encouraged it, even. Allowed you to visit when very few others were allowed, or even encouraged.
Yes. She certainly is a rather prime example of her clan.
You should be proud. Your actions here tonight will certainly spell the doom of an entire city full of demon worshippers and child sacrificers. Truly, you shall be key in wiping the integral evil off the face of this earth.
Then we've done our duty to Rome, as we should as proud Romans.
Hat looks notice
And
is silent for a good while. Sorry.
while Nicodemus declares this, there's no. He seems a bit agitated by the whole situation and the fact that they've been used as pawns again, but it kind of made sense to him. But there's no hidden deception in him at this point. He never intended to betray Artemis, at least in this setting. So there's no like shameful side glances and stuff like that.
She walks over to the pile of ash of Sybil, and she kind of kicks at it. She goes, "Huh, it's too bad this piece of trash didn't survive. I wanted to talk to him. Oh well, there's always more where they came from."
An unfortunate decision on her part. Too rash. It's a sad end, and a lesson to us.
And she's talking about Urunki, not about Sibyl.
No, he's talking about Sybil.
Oh, okay.
What will happen, out of curiosity, what will happen to the captives?
They shall be revived and questioned extensively. We will know all their secrets. Oh, Albina. Good choice in ghouls, by the way. Very skilled with the blade. Good strong arm.
She smiles at the priest. He might not be just a wolf along. She gently pats his head.
Ah, don't do anything you'll regret.
I never act without the permission of the prince, of course.
Shoot, stupid thing. I'm trying to move my pictures around on the recording, and I keep selecting the wrong thing. All right. Well, that's good to know. All right. Let's see. We got 2 captives. A couple piles of ash. Ghouls are in place. Oh, yes. No. Before I forget, all of you, would like you to welcome Gail Leonis of Carthage. She has appeared with Kybiel and a couple of others. Has fully and undoubtedly pledged her loyalty to taking down Carthage. She has demonstrated in all her actions that she sincerely repents of their actions and wishes to see right done in this world. Gail looks at all of you and she walks up to each of you and she offers her hand to shake hands in the Roman fashion. Does anybody accept?
Albina shakes her hand.
She does this to everybody.
Mm.
When you shake her hand, she squeezes until you acknowledge in some manner that she's stronger than you.
Oh, Nicodemus is quick to relent. He's not interested in pissing contests.
Albina is going to buff her strength while doing this. A smile on her face as she tries to be the one that lasts.
All right. Well, Gale is right now rocking 9 strength.
Fuck.
That's,
Yeah, Albina cannot boost her strength enough for that.
That's strength plus potence, I should say.
She might
So,
be able to match that. Yeah, she would be able to match that.
You have like 3 potents.
Yeah, so you guys see these two women, 2 ladies, shake hands, and the knuckles get wider and wider and wider as they keep squeezing harder and harder. And then Gale begins to spend blood to boost her strength to 11. And she keeps matching it until you give up.
Albina is going to lose. She does not hesitate. She's not able to boost that much to 11.
She gives you a nod of respect. You are considerably stronger than she was led to believe. She gives you the nod of, well done, nice, and moves onwards.
Hat does accept the handshake though, and she doesn't try to really be all impressive about it, but it will be noticed that the movements are very stiff, right?
So, here's what's going to happen. This is Inanna again. We are going to leave you to clean up. Take what trophies you can or desire to have. Tomorrow night, you are expected to show yourselves in the Elysian Fields bathhouse. There will be a meeting of the Eternal Senate, along with all of the witnesses. It will be in the gymnasium. And bring whatever proofs you need to bring of your interactions in Carthage. It is quite early. I believe we shall have to depart within moments to get to safety. So, without further ado, she takes her captives and departs.
Of what is left are ashes and personal belongings. Is that correct?
Yep,
Or
some
where did
clothing scraps, Urumilky's knife, which is no longer poisoned, died with him.
Is there anything else of interest in Hayaton's ashes, in
Some
Sybil's
Carthaginian
ashes?
coins, some Roman coins, a few innocuous, the normal weapons, belt knives and stuff you would expect anyone to have. Nothing of earth-shattering importance, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so like that it ends, it seems.
Avinash going to get to the anything that remains of Cyril to bring it over to Labiana to prepare for a funerary ritual.
That is an excellent idea, actually.
We're pressed for time, however. So
Well, she'll have to do that later, unfortunately. She'll have to do the funeral later, the rites.
the ghouls and the acolytes can probably mop this place up.
Yes, they can, actually.
After a moment, Hat's just gonna say aloud, "So tell me, what do the rest of you truly think of all this now?"
What
Somehow I'm not surprised. Our patron once again proves her her shrewd with nature of others, the plans within plans within plans. I'm I'm torn between having my free choice stripped away from this, but I guess it's easier to see that it has been made for us, considering the grave importance right there.
And we
Still,
just
still, my plan was to accept the deal and double cross them. It's the only sensible way. They've exceeded their trust when they became delusional, and we've seen enough in Carthage, and their interactions with them confirm that there's really nothing we can do.
Hat remains silent.
But if you ask if I'm happy about how it goes on, who are we supporting, what tool, what people are we protecting? No, I'm not happy.
by the way,
Indeed.
by the way, would be working with the ballet, either the ballet of Carthage or the ballet of whatever place Sibyl comes from. Sibel.
They're all Balai. The allegiances are facades. They ultimately serve their own evil goals.
So ultimately, it makes no difference who you side with. The only difference is if we betray Rome or not, and we did not.
Yes, the adjunct factors are how you portray certainly, but ultimately one needs to remember they are still treacherous bastards that will bring anyone to the downfall, even those that they willingly serve now.
At this point, can we even trust our patron?
Why shouldn't we? None of our actions so far have put us unnecessarily in the line of danger. Indeed, she has taken many precautions to make sure that we have a way out when we have been put in the line of danger. Inanna herself, no doubt, is one of those.
Perhaps. Perhaps. We should sleep, though. I will. Perhaps I will be in better spirits tomorrow night. And with that, Tat is going to head off to the place she rests.
Nicodemus departs. He stops for a moment near the pile of ash, close to near the pile of ash that was once Sybil, and he kind of reflects that the last gaze he tossed her was that of contempt, for for he truly despised many aspects of her personality, but ultimately she was his comrade, and he cannot shake off the bit of guilt that this was the way they parted their ways. So he departs and seeks shelter. Actually, do we have shelter in
Temple,
the
yes.
cult?
You there is a cellar, and a lot of times you guys sleep down there. So
Kind of makes sense rather than trek all the way.
all right, you guys take shelter, and during the day it is the deep, dreamless death sleep of the Canaanites. And above you, the cult members go about their business. They clean, sweep up the ashes, the dirt, take care of the plants, bring in water, bring in wine, take donations. Around you, food is cooked. Uh, People go to work, they go home, and eventually the sun sets. And you all wake up just a little bit hungrier, but more rested. Those of you who have had aggravated damage, if you spend 3 blood, the night with the
Mm-hmm.
night's rest, you heal a level of ag.
Isn't it 5 blood for the
3. It's 3 and a night's rest.
Uh, Nicodemus seeks to feed first.
Yeah, she didn't give you guys a time, but it was implied sooner is better. But of course, people will need to travel to the Elysium and they probably need to feed themselves. They want to show up hungry. So you can feed on your way. make your feeding roll. It'll be difficulty 5 because you are expanding your hunting grounds a little bit. So just a one-time difficulty increase to 5 tonight.
Sure.
Hat isn't going to bother feeding. She's just going to collect any like records or whatever that might be relevant to what Inanna request suggested, and go straight from there.
Ooh. I guess Nicodemus would do the same. Just get the scroll he had written down. The one about the Leviathans. Should we take this? Yeah, we should. He takes this. He takes some notes about the Carthaginian society and whatever he has learned from the night as Carthaginian and from their treks about. That's about it. Yeah, he recorded those in the scroll. I'm talking about the one he eventually showed the Salubri. Where's my roll? Oh, -1 dice for penalty. Let's just make it 3 successes then.
Okay, yeah, 6 blood. You feed successfully.
Change the robes, probably, to not bring out the stained tunic to the Senate floor. Well, house.
Right. Who else wants to feed and make your way to the Elysium?
I'm gonna make our way to the Legion, trying to get notes about the Carthaginians and the religion belief, anything that might help in putting the spot on them about the human sacrifices and about the uses of in correlation between them and the demonics and the demonic beings.
Okay. I'm sure you change into some nicer robes. You know, you're presenting yourself.
Yes. Get rid of burned up clothes.
Yeah, those are hardly a bother for you to replace. To be honest, you have enough money and a couple of servants to go do that for you. So you guys all eventually do make your way there. The Elysium, of course, rather large structure. Underground furnaces heating some of the pools. The entrances excellently maintained, exquisite paintings, tiled decorations, mosaics. You've all been here many, many, many times. But you don't go to the gymnasium portion very often. The gymnasium is on the opposite side of the main hallway from the Princess' Hidden Chambers. It is a sandy pit. There are some wooden bleachers, essentially, along the walls so that you can sit. Some torches set up and hanging lamps so that you can see the action. So there's some guards that stand guard, keep anybody unauthorized out, since it does enter right off the atrium, and there is not a hidden entrance. It is a visible, regular entrance. You enter the gymnasium area. You see, athletic rings, gymnastics tools. There's the rope along the ground to designate the wrestling ring, things like that. A lot of stuff piled up along the walls. Of course, in the sand, if you were to sift through it enough, you'd probably find some broken teeth and fingernails and bits and maybe human hair and stuff, where people's hair have gotten pulled out, things like that. And of course, dried blood soaked into the sand. The gymnasium is packed. It's not the largest area in Rome, but it is enough for the Eternal Senates, their retinue, you guys, witnesses, a few ghouls. And you see the pictures I sent you. You see a few characters out there. Of course, Ainana's there with the captives. You see in the bleachers Helena of Troy, her gorgeous form attracting attention even here amongst so many beautiful elders. Gale, go ahead.
That's good. Yeah.
What pictures are you
Pictures?
talking about?
Check Discord. Did I put them on the right channel? I put them on the wrong channel. That would explain it. Look on the music channel.
Oh, the one I have muted.
That would explain why you're not seeing it.
It's not
And-
in the music channel either.
We don't have permission to view the message history.
No. Damn it. Alright, well, I'll just reload them then. It would help if I put them on the right spot, huh? Yar.
It's all good.
Alright, so Ainana, here she comes. You've seen her before.
Yes.
Let's see. Gale Leonis. If she will upload, I'm watching it now. Let's see here. We got Shunamesh. And I think you guys remember Helen of Troy, but I'll upload her anyways.
She came too.
Yes, she did.
Okay. Well, if Sybil was alive, she would say that I judged her wrong. She wasn't that asshole in the end.
Still an asshole, regardless of allegiance.
Oh,
That's
yes,
true.
She's
still an
definitely
asshole. Yeah, she's definitely an asshole. I take my word back.
She's got an ego, but she's got the ability and power to back it up. And I don't know why it's taken so long to process, but they will eventually pop up. Alright.
I believe all of them are in the Roll20 too, so.
So they are. Everyone's sitting around. Of course, the Eternal Senate, whom you are very familiar with. And Princeps Camillus, who looks just a little bit lost without Tanit Bal Sahara by his side. Looks just a little bit distracted.
He's in the prime
how-
position.
How long ago has Tanit Bal Sahara left? Can you remind me?
A
Month?
week or two, a couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
In the
Correct.
prime position. In the position to not really do anything about all the bullshit going on, in other words.
And there are, of course, the other sinners are there. His faction is with him. So everyone's gathered in this area. If you still breathe, you would call it stuffy. In here, but since you don't breathe and you don't people don't put off a lot of body heat in here, you basically just have the warmth of the bath and the furnaces. around you.
Good way to see who's human.
Prince Camillus, Princeps calls the meeting to order. Hear ye, everyone, Solvay. We are gathered here tonight to hear the talk of Cybele the Ball-Eye, who was under the protection of Artemis, along with the witnesses from Carthage. I understand that many amongst you have a problem with Cybele being here. Understandably so. But we are not barbarians, and we will not succumb to base dislikes. Cybele will have her say, and we will give it due consideration and weight. Nicodemus especially, but you notice a lot of eyes drift over towards the two Salubri in the room, Benadab and Uziel.
Yeah, how are they reacting to this nonchalance? They had a bit of forewarning in the form of the information he has relayed them,
Uziel
but
looks
this has to be still a shock.
stiff. He looks like somebody jammed a very large stick right up his ass and planted it on the ground. Almost as if he's been dominated to keep his mouth shut and sit quietly. Perhaps. Abinadab looks sad, disappointed. He's got the usual, you're very familiar with his face after almost 100 years. It looks like the lines across his face are deeper, and you'd swear there's more gray hair in his beard, even though you know it's impossible. And his eyes appear shamed.
Looks like it will be time for another talk then.
So first, before we bring out our... Go ahead.
Sorry. One thing I'm just curious about, because the exact reaction on this is something that I've been curious about generally. What's Earharris? Is Earharris showing anything at all?
No. In fact, he is not there. He has
That
not
is
been
very
invited.
unusual.
He has not been invited. That is one of the unfortunate perils of being an independent.
Hmm.
While we are on this, Nicodemus would, while everyone's eyes are on the two Salubri, he would look about the room and see what the general reactions are to the revelation of the Cybele's bloodline. And he kind of wants to see what are the major players' reaction, how the populace of the Senate is divided on this, which seems to...
Majorly anger. There's a lot of murmuring. I can't believe there's a ball eye here. I can't believe Artemis would do this. A lot of people look discomforted. Cybele is smirking. She has a smirk on her face.
Who of the Roman vampires seem to be pleased by the turn of the events outside of those connected to except for Artemis probably, although Artemis probably keeps a stone face.
Nobody looks exactly happy about it, but there are those who look less angry than others. We'll put it like that. Nobody's cracked a huge smile. Nobody's laughing. But there are some who will wear the anger on their face, and there are some who conceal it with looks or just a raised eyebrow.
Is it possible, based on these vague impressions, to draw the line between to differentiate which seem like likely to support the whole thing and those who don't?
Well, I think the humanists obviously are probably showing a little bit more emotion. Bester is the most stone-faced, gives very little away. The Scions look interested because they seem eager to see how this play is going to happen. Like, they don't look happy. They don't look like, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. But they're also, 50% angry and 50%, what's Artemis up to? How is this going to shape out? So they're all kind of balancing this, and they're all looking around too, trying to take measure of everybody. A lot of little side looks. People trying to look without looking, or seem uninterested. A lot of that going on. I will say Mahendra is not here. Like I said, Ihamas is not here because he has no patron. He is independent.
I was going to say, if Mahendra was here, then regardless of the outcome, he'd probably have popcorn.
So, and there's many of the kind of lowlifes, those neonates or ones from outside. They're not here. What's in this room are the movers and shakers and their close clients. So, to begin, let's have a little history, a little refresher. We are all aware of the depravities and crimes of Hannibal Barca and the Carthaginians against us approximately 50 years ago. There are some in this room who argue that we should form two armies, one for Carthage and one for Corinth, as the problem has spread there as well. And I must say that there is merit in this. There are many among the mortals who wish to see Corinth punished for their support of Carthage, especially their financial support. Artemis, in her infinite foresight, has seen fit to groom a few spies to be allowed to drop into Carthage's midst. Now, there are others amongst you who had the same idea and the same plan. It just so happens that it is Artemis's clients who were chosen, who were recruited by Carthage, and who proved wise enough and educated enough to reject their offer, to see through the lies and deception, and in doing so, lost one of their own. A moment of silence, please. Everyone stays quiet for a moment. And then there's a light smattering of applause for you. Little golf claps. With that over, let us turn the scene over to my Wigil Ainana, and Ainana shall pursue the interrogation. So Ainana steps up and she points at Nicodemus. Nicodemus, step forth.
Nicodemus does so.
Nicodemus, Have you evidence to present regarding the claims as set forth by Kaibil the Balai of demon worship and human sacrifice and plotting of the destruction of Rome and Carthage? Let us hear your words and see your writings, your drawings, and anything you might have to set forth.
Hmm. Nicodemus Nicodemus steps forward. He produces the scroll with the impressions he has recorded based on the visions of the Leviathans. Um, I assumed it's so. So she's the. How is this formed? Is this like at court, or is that like in formal hearing, or?
It's you're kind of like standing in the sand and you're looking at these bleachers in a semicircle, almost like a little how the auditoriums are set up, the amphitheaters. Everybody's in the bleachers, and they're all kind of like leaning. Some are leaning forward and staring at you. Some are, have good posture and are sitting up. And you're just kind of talking to everybody. And I will say, you feel kind of, as you begin talking, the words just keep flowing out of you, like you can't stop, and every word must be truthful.
Yeah, he probably realizes he's being influenced in a way, coaxed. So he raises the scroll, and I have little to offer except for my words, and based on my perceptions from Carthage. I have confined the most intimate understanding of the merit at hand within the scroll, which I present to the assembly. And with that, he steps forward to Ainhana, I guess that's the proper procedure, and he offers the scroll to her.
She takes it, and she begins scrolling through it, just skimming it.
While within is confined the detailed account of the things I've saw and I've perceived, the gist of this is that even though Carthage's splendor and cultural advancement cannot be denied, there are darker themes that would dwell underneath. The rumors of the sacrifices are true, and we've witnessed the places of power revolving around these unholy temples. Within the horrible sacrificial chambers, where human lives, perhaps even children lives, are being sacrificed to serve an ulterior spread goal to provide Carthage with power beyond understanding. Through all this, ordeal, we've been led by the people from Carthage to understand that Carthage wants peace and wants to be left alone, that they seek to continue the dream of their own imagination. But given what we've seen, can it really be condoned, accepted? Perhaps somewhere there, somewhere near there, there have been some notion of idealistic world, but it has sunk into depravity. From what I understand, from what I've seen, not everyone in Carthage is implicated into the the festering corruption, but it is there, and it must be dealt with. Those we have been in contact with, the coterie that now primarily remains permanently dead, has in has sought to further several schemes to facilitate some measure of peace, but ultimately the corruption and the uh, and the misleading lies were there. Perhaps they truly believed they were protecting their own unblemished version of the vampire heaven, but ultimately they were delusional.
Ainana nods and kind of claps you on the shoulder a little bit. Well spoken. Well spoken.
During all of this delivery, Nicodemus really is truthful. He believes that, even though he might have been of different opinion several meetings ago, this has been dispelled.
This is it's once it was like somebody was is holding a balloon shut, and when they let it go, everything just came out. Just the dam burst. All the words just came flooding out of you. You just couldn't seem to stop. Everything you said, all the feelings you had bottled up inside of you, just flowed out finally.
Um,
Let us hear from Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut, step forth. Nicodemus, have a seat, please. Hatshepsut.
Nicodemus bowed and withdraws.
Hatshepsut stepped forward as requested, producing the map that she's originally made of Carthage, with a bunch of notes that she's added over the months and so forth. To note, she is making no attempt whatsoever to disguise her utter disgust, not necessarily aimed at any individual person, but just disgust at just everything right now. The words suggest someone who is just done with the situation. As she steps forward, she speaks. On the subject of demon worship, I cannot say for or against. However, I can verify from my own reports on the topic of human sacrifices. I can also suggest that whether or not they intend to fully use it to their extent, to the full extent, they certainly have plans in place that would give them the power to destroy Rome. Bringing the map forward and if showing it at least to Inanna, and if possible showing it a bit more broadly, she'll continue. I happen to be knowledgeable on many matters of mystical importance, and, well, I won't bore you all with the long explanation, but the arrangement of the main Tophets, she points to all the main Tophets on the map, they are aligned in such a way in accordance with certain currents of mystical energy that, if tapped, would give the person drawing on them powers like unto a god. I suspect that this has had a significant influence on Carthage being able to repay its debts so easily, and, well, if they did intend to use it against us, they certainly have the means. I will echo to some extent what my companion Nicodemus implied, in that there is almost certainly a seed of corruption there. I will note one thing that was not directly referenced by my companion. I have let's just say I have a certain sensitivity to the world of spirits, and that while traveling into the central court of Carthage's prince, I sensed many tormented souls lurking within, implying certainly some foul rites. There's a pause. She looks to see if, curious to see if Inanna is expecting her to say something more.
Yeah, she's kind of looking at you like, and?
Okay, so out of character though, this is actually a thing. Out of character, I'm not entirely sure what I'm missing.
You're not missing anything really. It's just kind of comes across like you had more to say.
Okay. So, yes,
And Inanna looks at you and she says,
well, she will,
expand,
con-
expand on this sensitivity. Can you see into the spirit realm? Can you promise that spirits are locked into the stones and graves of the Tovits? Tell us more about this. Tell us in detail what you felt, what you sensed.
I see. And I presume that Hat's going to feel compelled to follow through on expanding on that.
Yeah, again, she's not gonna make you talk, but once you start talking, it's like you can't stop until you feel you've gotten it all out.
I forget the exact details myself, but Hat will intentionally give a very clinical description of things and the spirits. She is deliberately, if she can, avoiding extremely emotive language.
Well, I see. Hatshepsut. Thank you. Let us hear from one of our visitors next. I believe Ishunumash should be allowed to speak. Ishunumash, come present yourself. Ishunumash gets up. He is tall, skinny, um, has short, curly hair, a kind of wispy, curly beard, He's not heavily bearded, but it's more on the chin than anything else. Kind of goes up his jawline in a thin line. He's got this way of looking like he's squinting at stuff. Like he's used to squinting at stuff in low light. Kind of hunches over and then he straightens up. And then he hunches over and then he straightens up. He's wearing clothing of the Carthaginians. But as you well know, especially Nicodemus, he understands and speaks fluent Latin and Greek. He steps forward and he's in these kind of delicate little sandals. And he prances, almost, yeah, well, I can't say prance is a good word. Prances in the sand. And he bows and he looks and he says, so Shunamesh, he has this aura about him, this air of gentleness, peace. Even more so than Abinadab. He looks like the kind of guy, and he comes across as the kind of guy who he wouldn't even slap a mosquito that's feeding off of him. And he says in Latin to everyone, thank you all for letting me speak tonight. It is with shame and grief that I address you all. I have a practice just outside of the city, healing. And for many years I have accepted the blood offerings that come from the city to me. A few months ago I spoke to some of my clanmates, Gale among them, and they expressed to me surprise. It's been many years since I had actually traveled into the city and talked to Troil, our founder, and Himmelkar. I had not realized that Troil and Moloch had taken up as lovers. They have, and I went to the temples and I paid court to them, and I offered my fealty, and I looked into Troil's eyes, and I saw. You must all understand, Troil had been our champion, the champion of humanities. She helped sponsor many of our discussions and guided the beliefs that we should be as one with humans and walk amongst them. And what I saw in her eyes was it was no longer human. There was nothing there. There was no conscience, no control. There was only desire. And I was disturbed, and I walked the city, and I heard rumors of the sacrifices in the temples, and I made my way there, and I watched he's actually tearing up here. I watched a pregnant woman bring in a goat, and the priest took her, and instead of the goat, he chained her above the fire, and I watched as he cut her child and let the child drop into the flames. And I was so ashamed I could do nothing. I made myself watch her as he cooked her over the burning corpse of her own child until I could take no more, and I ran from there. I ran to Helena, and Helena and I gathered what allies we could, and made the plans to come here. As we were leaving, we came across Kybiel, who joined with us, and we brought her here with us. She has physical proof, rubbings, the writings, but I can't believe. I can't handle. I can't believe that I let this happen. That I let this go on for so long. You know, under my nose, my very face, my eyes. I drank of this blood. It's. Oh my God! I just can't believe that I did this. And he's crying, blood tears running down his face.
Out of
Go ahead.
out of character. The way he's hesitating a lot. Is it worth a perception empathy check to see if this is entirely 100% genuine?
Go for it. That is going to be difficulty 4. Part of it is the way he speaks, and part of it is emotion.
Interesting.
Would I be able to tell if he's telling the truth?
You don't know if he's telling the truth or not, but he is delivering this with genuine, heartbreaking emotion.
He at least believes it's the truth.
He's delivering it as if he believes it, yes. If this is a performance, it is a masterful performance.
So my question is, how much difference is between this Eshunamesh and the Eshunamesh Nicodemus has been encountering for a while in the past?
You have corresponded with him often, and this matches up fairly well. He comes across usually as clinical. He is a healer. Like I said, his speech and his talking is fluent. Based on the way he writes, and the way he talks about wanting to help people and heal people and the problems he encounters, you would say that this is consistent with the Ishunamesh you know through his letters.
Nicodemus has met him on several occasions while the
That's right, under house arrest. Yep.
Yeah.
And during the downtime. This matches up exactly.
Was there any question as to the nature of his, empathical, emotional presence? Is this due to likely being a very tight humanist or whatever permits him?
Yes, that's correct. This fits exactly with what you know. He doesn't like to feed from people directly. You know that. He prefers to feed off of them indirectly to have their blood drawn. Um, so yeah, the fact that he would accept blood offerings coming from the city, perfectly logical, rational.
Hmm. Right. So if it's not the truth that he's saying, it's likely that he was being manipulated. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
like I said,
if it
if
is
he's lying, he's either been so heavily dominated that he can't tell the truth from a lie,
indoctrinated,
or this is
or
a masterful performance that would put Toreador to shame.
all right.
For those of you guys who are unmoved by such emotion, perhaps you are somewhat inhuman, not so much in touch with your gentle side. If you look around, there are some who appear as bored as you. They appear interested only because this is something they want to hear. Others appear fascinated by the sheer grotesquerie of what he's describing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's
Anna
as
steps
expected.
up. She says, "Well, that was enlightening. A little odd to see an elder cry. But a spectacle, to be sure. Let us hear from Albina Pallas. Albina Pallas, priestess of Rome, Lasombra. Let us hear what she has to say on this matter."
Abner steps forward, and she starts. First of all, she confirms what everyone else has said, and then she starts telling her own part and trying to do the comparisons, connections between what she knows about the demon worshippers worshipping and the practices of the diabolos with the practices of Carthaginian religions. She's going to draw the comparison of the corrupted prophets with the corrupted statue of, I forgot who it was, the statue that found in Greece that was corrupted to take the blood.
Yeah, I don't remember either. A fertility goddess of some kind.
Yes. So yes, but she's going to do that comparison. She's going to draw upon the memories of the uh, diabolists that have been working with the Carthaginians, including Ma- Malaga, which they know for a fact does deals with demons. It is not just her clan that she does actually willingly deals with them. As the first time that they met, she had demons at her side. All those years back. Um, she's going to try to pretty much reinforce what has already been said and trying to use her knowledge on theological methods to try to draw more make the connection between the religions, Carthaginian Punic religion and infernalism a bit more apparent, perhaps trying to differentiate the Punic religion of Carthage from the Punic religion in the Middle East, try to show Carthage as a corrupted form, as deviancy.
Yeah, I get you. Well, thank you, Miss Pallas. Let's hear. I believe. Let's hear from another guest. Let's hear from Miss Helena of Troy. Helena. Toreador, once mistress of Crete and current mistress of Pompeii, along with an estate in Carthage, many other lands, titles. So Helena steps up. She looks radiant, gorgeous as always, in yellow, her hair plaited perfectly, flowers in her hair, little lines of ash around her eyes, little bits of makeup. So somebody's been doing her hair and stuff for her. And so she stands up, she says, "Yes, so many of you know me of the land of Crete. Some of you helped me in my struggles with my own sire and his literal demons that he was engaged with. Which is why I found it so hard to believe that the Bruja of Carthage and their dream would fall prey to such schemes. That they would welcome a Ball-Eye into their midst as one of their own, install him in a seat of high power. And yet it's true. Not just a Ball-Eye, but perhaps one of the Ball-Eye, one of the progenitors. In my own studies of such matters, given the history on Crete, in fact, I happen to know that Artemis's clients here were involved in those caves, exploring it against my expressed disapproval of such things. And of course, it's neither here nor there. They suffered the consequences of their own actions, and we'll let that be in the past. When I heard from Masquerade and what he told me, I had to look into it myself. I present to you the rubbings of much artwork and the defiled sculptures and carvings on the walls of the Tophets, where before they were dedicated to Melkart and to Baal-Hamon. The carvings have been defaced, erased, changed. The power of human blood and sacrifice now goes towards the foul Ball-Eye gods. Those creatures of the earth that they worship so strongly. The disease, the rot, the foulness. I could, of course, accept no part in them. I have brought some journals from myself and from Masquerade detailing a few places of power, some resting places, ornament stashes, things like that, as a token of our gratitude to be allowed to speak and your shelter here. Please take them, distribute them amongst yourselves. Know that he has spoken the truth, and as deeply as it pains me to say this, Kybiel speaks the truth when she says that she wishes to see Moloch and Troil to see their power broken, to see them brought to torpor, and to see that their reign never comes again. I am more than willing to take a few questions, and some people pester her with questions of, well, exactly which carvings, and where were they, and how do you know about all this? And then you guys get a chance to ask one or two.
Well, first of all, out of character, bring the last question I just put down. Kabil still has bugs all around.
Yes, she does.
Okay, so that's going to ask a question. If I may, that Kabil wants. It is clear that Kabil is being forthcoming with this information, not presenting anything false, and is clearly sincere in wanting Moloch and Troil brought down. But if I may, how do you know how she figures into all this beyond that?
I'm afraid my knowledge of the Ball-Eyed does not extend to such internal politics. I know that there were 3 founders. I know they fought amongst themselves. And I know that the name of the demon which Shaitan sought to raise more than once underneath my island. But no, I do not know how Kaibil fits into their internal politics, other than that she wishes to see Moloch and his works brought low.
Hmm. A demon of plagues, wasn't it? And with that, Hat's not going to say anything, not going to ask any more questions beyond that, but she's going to very pointedly stare at Kaibil, look at the flies, and just say, finally, interesting. That is all.
Inanna steps up. Are there any other inquiries for the Elder Toreador? No? Well, in that case,
Hmm.
everyone is.
Yeah. Out of character, how did other people react to that question and that statement?
They are waiting for Kaibil so they can ask her that question.
I feel like even if I didn't accomplish anything, I feel like I did decently there. Even if it doesn't work. I don't know.
So, Helena takes her seat. Labiana, Labiana, do you have anything new to add? Any knowledge that you wish to share that has not already been shared here?
Vienna kind of looks around. And gives a kind of a loose kind of head shake, and appears thoughtful as she begins to speak. As far as new information, not really, but just to say that, and she forces out a sigh, given that her body can no longer do it naturally. And she says, I guess all I wanted to say was that when it comes to Carthage in general, I must confess, of everything that I've seen and everything that I've heard, it did end up making me somewhat conflicted about its people, about its history, and about everything that has ever happened inside of its city limits. The people we've met, and of course the stories we've heard of other people, particularly Troil and Moloch, has has often left me scratching my head. On one hand, they could have almost been congratulated for their attempts at leading the kind of lives that otherwise we could only dream of. Living the way they did with Kine. But on the other hand, in more recent times, all the corruption that everyone else has spoken, kind of brought all that down. And has definitely brought one to realize that their dream was just that. A dream. So and Labiena again pauses and kind of thinks and says, basically, that is all I have to add. Thank you for letting me speak.
Anana sucks. Ah, the vaunted dream. The dream which goes explicitly against the wishes of our dark father Cain and the silence of the blood. The dream which was proven false when, after but a single defeat, openness was abandoned in that city. Yes, it was a dream of futility. Even without Rome, even without this conversation right now, the dream is dead. We didn't even strike the death blow, they did. They killed it themselves. Now, on to the guest of honor, shall we say. Kaibil. Kaibil, please step up. And Kaibil steps forward. And you've all seen the insects, the bugs. It doesn't matter how many times you see it, it's still creepy. Disgusting. The thought of those things crawling around inside you, eating your own vitae, nesting along your bones, your spine, inside your head, maybe hearing the buzzing, feeling them chew at your flesh. Ew, ew, ew. Disgusting. And so she steps forward and she says, well, let's get this out of the way quickly. The city has gone insane. There is a schism. Himmelcar the Pale no longer controls his city. It is now firmly in the hands of Moloch. Troil, his lover, long ago gave up her position as advisor and moral center and became ruler in all but name. Himmelcar sent his fist here to search for a coterie of Cainites which recently met their demise. And that fist failed in his mission. And in fact, once free of Himmelcar's direct protection, was swiftly brought under the influence of those who had fallen to Moloch's seductive promises. Now, of course, you need not take my word for any of this. We have Helena, Ashunamesh, Gale. You have 2 captives to interrogate. But I will go ahead and answer one question already. It is implied that I am of a bringer of plagues, that I've part of Shaitan's crew, to worship the demon who you should not ever actually say his name out loud. You could not be more wrong.
Oh, sorry, I'm back. What happened?
She's about to explain why she's not a plague. So,
Okay.
you wonder about the colonies within me, and she raises her arms. Flies and hornets begin to come out, begin to squeeze from her pores. And she turns her skin and her wrists, and they gather and move and begin to crawl over her. The hive teaches unity, one with many, to belong to something greater and more than yourself, to protect, to live, to breathe, to do more than simply exist for yourself. That is the hive. That is why we allow and encourage them to nest within us, to remind us of this every night. To betray the hive, to become an infernalist, is a sacrilege of the highest order.
So you're suggesting it was that the faction running Carthage and the faction that was involved in the events on the North are, if not the same, then of similar mindsets?
Um, could I also do a sense bullshit roll on her speech and not being the
Unfortunately, what she's talking about is so alien that you don't know if she's telling the truth or not.
Mm,
There's literally no way to tell.
mm.
Her
We
own
need,
expression impenetrable in this regard to just generally sense the emotions.
yeah.
Well, what about
Um,
read the soul?
That will give an emotional state. If you would like to do that, sure.
Yeah, that's a good.
yes. Does she give a response to that question?
I'm sorry, you have to repeat it.
So you're suggesting that the faction of Barlai involved with Carthage and the faction that was involved with the events in the labyrinth under Crete are, if not the same, then distinctly related, yes?
I'm afraid the intricacies of Ball-Eye clan politics are not the subject of why I'm here. Why I'm
Except they
here
are.
is no, they are not, my young, sweet, naive Childa. What matters is that Moloch has begun engaging in human sacrifice for purposes of his own. And those purposes do not align with my purposes. So if you would see Carthage, the enemy city, fall, for whatever reason, pride in Rome, anger at betrayal, or even a desire to not see the world come to an end, you would do well to understand the fact that not all Bile are the same, and not all their goals are the same. And I speak to you from a perspective so wildly different from Moloch's that he is. My perspective is as different from his as mine is from you.
He might as well be another clan. You and him might as well be another clan.
Yes, we might as well. What I can tell you is that to one such as I, to even for a moment entertain the thought of consorting with beings not of this earth, that is sacrilege of the highest order. That is a betrayal of everything that makes us us. It must be stamped out. It must be destroyed. Unfortunately, none here, not I, not Artemis, not Camillus, not all of us put together, can destroy Moloch. Indeed, as you, and she points at Hatshepsut, as you so astutely discovered, he has access to the very lifeblood of the earth itself. He and Troil cannot be destroyed, but they can be placed into torpor which never ends. And I can tell you how.
Interesting.
Here's the deal. I will tell you how. I will help in the attack. I will personally, gladly, help strike the blows against Troil and Moloch. I'll do it with a smile on my face. And when it's all over, you'll let me walk away. That's the deal. I don't need money. I don't need blood. I don't need political power.
So, that's interesting. Not any reward at all. This is of immense benefit to everyone seeing. Please understand me. The fact that Carthage is a threat and that it needs to be dealt with, I am not questioning that. I do hope you understand that much.
And I hope you
But
understand the fact that implying that I'm doing this for no reward is simply false. Believe me.
Sorry, you skipped a word there, Chris.
Said,
Your
I
voice.
hope you understand that even implying that I'm doing this for no reward is false. Believe me when I say, you can all believe me. My reward will be seeing no stone left on top of another in Carthage, knowing that Troil and Moloch will be trapped underneath the sands of that deserted waste for 10,000 years. They will never be free. They will never be able to move. They will have no power to affect anything, ever. Oh.
Including perhaps your own faction's desires.
The fact that in this case our interests align should be all that you need to know about my faction's desires.
Except, is it really?
Yes, it is. You see, Neonate,
I know that.
I understand that you thirst for knowledge. It is this thirst for knowledge which made you attractive to the Carthaginians. which made you the perfect stooge for Artemis. It made you both a tool and dispensable.
Oh, yes, I am fully aware that I have been manipulated and played by many sides over these last few decades.
But
And
rest assured, young one, that it would be in my best interest, and in fact is my desire, to never see any of you again, ever. If I could finish this and walk away from you, and never again look on the face of any Canite on the face of this earth, ever, I would be very happy. I do not wish to play your political games, do not wish to involve myself here, but understand, and I am open here, they are too powerful. I cannot stop them. My faction cannot stop them. The Ball-Eye, the rest of us united, cannot stop them. What can stop them is Rome. Rome and her allies. Maybe. Before they get too much. Before they take back their territory. Before they recruit more armies. If you do not strike now, if you do not strike within a year, before Menelaus returns from his missions to the south of the continent, Carthage will become too powerful.
oh, yes. And see, all you're saying is absolutely true right now. All that you've said so far regarding Carthage is undeniable truth.
And that is all you will get from me. You will not learn anything else about the Ball-Eye. You will accept this, all of you. Oh, and don't think we don't see. You are all so brave for allowing this neonate to ask questions which you so yearningly burn to ask. I see it. I see it in your souls. I don't need the powers of Auspex to see it, but I see it. You allow her to take point to save you the embarrassment. Oh yes. Rest assured, they will learn nothing more of the Ball-Eye than what I have given you tonight. And if that's not enough, if you make it your price to learn all there is to know, you'll never see me again. You will learn that I have spoken the truth, and you will regret your impertinence. So make your decision, neonate.
Oh, I fully aware that I have no real power here.
Oh, but they have allowed you to have this power. By not interrupting, by allowing you to speak. They have given it up to you. Will you accept it? Do you accept the fact that you can listen to me and learn what I have, the elders here can learn what I have to teach? Or will you reject me?
As you've consistently noted throughout all this, we don't really have much choice in the matter on listening to you right now. If we choose to refuse, then the world will be destroyed. Indeed, I must say, regardless of whether or not you intended this or not, and I'm gonna go so far as to suggest you probably didn't intend any of this. This is the sort of situation in which, if one of my clan had set it up, they would be gleeful. And with that, I will trouble you no more.
And she looks out and She looks at Inanna, who even looks like she's been hit with a poleaxe. Like, oh, shit. And she goes, "You heard it from the mouth of babes, fresh from the fangs of her sire, comparatively speaking to the rest of you in this room. I have a ritual to teach the elders here who would learn it. The ritual which will ensure that they are buried for all time. But I sense that now is not the time. I think now is the time to yield the sands to the first citizen, that he may close out this meeting with a few words of wisdom." And Kaibil bows and sits down, and Ainana's not the only one who looks like in awe at how easily she just took charge of that whole gathering. The fact that she so quickly outwitted all of these vaunted elders and just made them, just took advantage of the situation to have a neonate speak for them. Like, everyone just looks like they've been hit by a truck. Now, they did warn you she was mighty persuasive.
Oh yeah. I mean, both in and out of character, I'm not having any illusions over my chance of persuading more than like maybe one person here. But I'm not gonna let it go without some resistance, as ineffectual as it might be.
Alright, so to close this out, the princeps steps up. Assembled Canaanites, elders, neonates, ancilla. The accusations we have heard here are extraordinarily serious, and they require an extraordinary response. By voice vote, shall we call forth a conclave of all the elders of Hispania, Greece, Macedonia, the Peloponnese, the barbarian tribes of the north, the flesh crafters of the northeast, those desert dwellers that we can reach? Shall we call them forth to Rome? Or shall we proceed to allow Carthage as is? And everyone pipes up in cheering. The conclave! The conclave! Call forth the elders! Then somebody's, conclave! Conclave! They're all clapping, conclave! And Camilla's spouse has said, "The voice of the people have spoken. I shall ask for volunteers to ride out, to sail, to walk, to fly. Call forth all elders who will attend. A grand conclave to discuss the death of Carthage." Thank you all. And everyone gets up, they start walking away.
Oh, I was just going to say, just quickly, as all that last part was being discussed, anyone looking at Labiena might have seen a very faint smirk appearing on her face.
I think what?
Smirk.
A
Smirk.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because we know where the captain is going to come down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, out of character, you mentioned people are very obviously impressed by Kaibil. Out of curiosity, what is the general reaction to people have to Hatshepsut after all of this? Is it like just sort of is there mockery like is it negative, positive, mixed?
Well, the Ancilla and the neonates are kind of looking at you like you're crazy. Um,
That's because it was crazy, yes.
the elders are too good at concealing their reactions to such behavior. Um, if you had to guess, you would say they're probably thinking about how, well, stupid neonate behavior, stepping where they don't belong. Well, she deserved what she got. But they're also a little bit angry at Kybeel using the opportunity to essentially call them cowards. Because that's more or less what she did.
Maybe it wasn't entirely fruitless. Maybe. We'll have to see.
All right, that is going to cut it for tonight, guys. Do you guys want to volunteer to be among the riders that go out and get people? Or do you want to stay put in Rome? It's up to you.
Let's volunteer. That might be interesting.
There is just there's just a couple of things that Abna would like to do in Iran before she leaves. If possible to do that, then yeah, she develop.
Okay, yep. All right, so next game will be in 2 weeks. We will do a couple things in Rome before you guys go, preparing, doing whatever needs to be done. Everybody gets 2 experience points for tonight. And, of course, to our deceased Nosferatu, I will stay on for a bit, and you can, of course, discuss new characters at any time. We'll talk.
Sybil gets 100 x. Sybil gets 100 XP, but is unfortunately too dead to benefit from it.
So, all right.
Yeah, I can stay after this session. We can discuss it if you have time.
Cool. All right. So, for everybody listening home, thank you and good night. Well, guys, thanks for listening to all that. We all feel sorry that Sybil died, but, the world of darkness is not a nice place. The dice did not want Sybil to live tonight. So, the doom of Carthage approaches. Keep listening in, and we will get there pretty shortly. All right, guys, have a great evening.